Persona 5 and Metaphor ReFantazio have very stylish one-of-a-kind aesthetics. In this video, I'll show you how you can create your own. Both of them began with a core motif. P5 had thieves, Metaphor had Renaissance artists. From those motifs, many visual ideas and iconography branch out. Thieves brings out broken glass and ransom letters. Artist brings out chalk and paint. Since both of these are games, most of their aesthetics are applied to the user interface, but I will show you how it can be applied to anything visual, like comics or animation. First up is the color palette. Both games chose a specific set of colors that appear consistently. Persona has red, black, and white. Red could symbolize danger or blood, which goes well with the core motif of thieves. The black and white are values, technically not colors, which draws more attention to the red. Backgrounds are frequently washed in red, while the text and character graphics are in black and white. In Metaphor, the main colors are reddish pink and turquoise. I can't say what the meaning behind the colors are, but they look pleasant together. Whenever there are splashes of paint, it will likely be some shade of pink or turquoise. Both games have their own unique typography. In P5, the text has a ransom letter approach, which is connected to thieves. This is represented in P5 through text switching between upper and lowercase, having boxes around certain letters, and words being unbalanced and asymmetrical. If you look at one more, you can see rings inside the O and a star inside the R. The star appears in a lot of text as a replacement for the gaps in letters. All of this adds to the chaotic style. This creates a rebellious energy, which is rooted in the core of the Phantom Thieves ideology. Metaphor uses a typeface with serifs, which gives it a classical feel connected to the Renaissance. The text is very orderly and consistent by comparison. Text boxes and highlighter boxes are important. Persona has a motif of asymmetrical, crooked boxes. The lines are rarely parallel. It continues the chaotic rebel energy. In the menus, almost every box surrounding text is crooked. Even the highlighter box is crooked and constantly changing shape. Metaphor focuses on its artistic background and applies chalk and paint as much as it can. Text with a chalk texture. Text covered in chalk texture boxes. Boxes with chalk drawing the outlines. Brush strokes serving as highlighter boxes. Is everywhere. Let's look at the iconic battle menus and how they combine all of these ideas. In P5, the battle menu has crooked boxes shooting out of the characters. Extra aesthetic diagonal boxes make this look like broken glass, which is imagery connected to thieves. The color palette is red, black, and white. The text is in the ransom letter style. In Metaphor, the menu is based on pink paint splashing behind the character, with turquoise paint as the highlighter box. The text has chalk texture, with extra drawn chalk circles. I'll explain it more later, but the chalk circle and radial lines are a reference to the mathematical precision in Renaissance art, like the Vitruvian Man. All of the buttons have chalk rings around them, and the other options on the right have paint blots behind the text. These battle menus are examples of how all of the aesthetic choices come together to create something unique and stylish. So far, I talked about aesthetics connected to specific and universal UI elements, like typography, text boxes, and menus, but there's still more. Both of these games have extra visual flares that are completely unnecessary and purely for style points. Let's start with Persona 5. Throughout a lot of the artwork, characters are colored with a solid black shadow, creating a strong look. In the main menu, this style is repeated, but in black and white and alongside some halftones. This creates a comic look, and of course it uses the three main colors. The stars and cluttered stickers in the background filled with a teenage rebel motif. In the equipment page, the dialogue boxes that look like shattered glass appear and interact with Joker and the menu in interesting ways. In the load menu, the shattered glass boxes appear again as highlighter text. When characters do damage, the background turns red and the hit effects are black and white. They use stars and blood splatter with chaotic designs. In the all-out attack finisher, the three main colors are used. There's broken glass on the star in the background, and the main character is shaded in solid black. The blood pouring out is changed into four-pointed stars, while there's a white blood splatter effect in front of your character. In the victory menu, there's a chaotic, uneven red line that trails in the background and interacts with the stats appearing. The typography has graffiti energy, and the star-shaped holes appear again. There are extra red star effects as well. Chaotic, uneven lines, stars, solid black shadows, ransom letters, and shattered glass. Persona 5 chooses to reuse its branch motifs as much as it can, even if it's purely aesthetic and serves no functional purpose. In Metaphor, paint and chalk are the focus. In the quest art image, there is blue and pink paint behind the image. There's also chalk measurements with a circle and lines through it. Leonardo, a famous Renaissance man, was an engineer and made sketches with precise measurements, so the circle with lines through the radius are references to that. Are the paint and chalk needed here? No, but it is consistent with the style. At the bottom corner of the dialogue box, chalk measurements appear again. In the level up screen, the background has paint. In these screenshots of the battle beginning, chalk circles appear. In this player turn screenshot, circles, radial lines, and chalk textures are all present with a blue palette. This menu image has random chalk measurements added on top. This follower menu screen has chalk measurements and paint that interact with each other and the screen for fun. The line cuts off the image and the paint behind her. It also divides the page for a section of her name and rank. The skill menu has pink and blue paint and chalk lines. This pattern appears again and again. In the victory screen, there's pink and turquoise paint on the floor that stylishly interacts with the text. Extra details in the battle menu are drawn with chalk, and there's even a chalk ring around the whole shot. Like Persona 5, Metaphor takes its motifs and finds different ways to use them outside of the UI for flair. The best way to show how this can be done is to show how I did it in my own manga. I'll start with the core motif. Since my story is a detective battle shonen about exposing corruption and conspiracies, my core motif was obviously detectives. That made the color palette easy, blue and red to represent cop lights. These are visible in colored artworks. If the comic was fully colored, there'd be a lot of neon lights, mostly blue and red. Since I have a comic, not a game, typography and menus aren't really suitable options. Instead, I focused on creating unique visuals. For starters, instead of using hatching or halftones to shade like most manga, I went with chiaroscuro, which is solid black shadows. The reason is because this is a common element of the noir genre, which goes back to detectives. I played around with these noir visuals. I studied movie lighting for more accuracy. I made backgrounds pure black and provided minimal lighting. There were specific detective motifs that I liked, so I found ways to stylistically incorporate them as visual effects. Spotlight, notepads, caution tape, chains. Some of the choices I made directly interacted with the elements of comic language, while others were purely stylistic. In conclusion, to create a unique aesthetic like Persona 5, you have to understand your core motif, and then come up with branch motifs. Find ways to frequently apply the branch motifs, whether it's a replacement for an element of the medium or just stylistic flair.